Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Funmi Aina, and I'm here courtesy the Green Mondays company, of which I am a 3-star manager, a VIP member, and an elite stockist. And it's my great privilege to be here this evening. I'd like to welcome everyone, and I'd specifically and specially like to welcome our guests. And if you are a guest today, somebody has invited you, you're not a member of the Green community yet, please type I am a guest so that we can welcome you specially. I am a guest. Or you may say you're a guest. You may also say, tell us who invited you. So I'm waiting to know our guests. Yeah. Well, while we wait for our guests, if you're a guest, oh great, Oluwaseun Ngobo, you're very welcome. You're welcome. I hope you have a great time today, as we all are going to have. So today is Wellness Wednesday. Wellness Wednesday, and this is the first of a number of series of Wellness Wednesdays that we're going to have. And let's just sit back, relax, and have a great time. Okay, I'm a guest invited by Biodun Oluwake. I'm Pastor Deolu Akinyemi's guest. You're all welcome. Oh, great. I'm so happy to see you. Duchess Dolapo, you're very welcome. Dolapo Kulaja Kotsun, hello, how are you? You're welcome. Yeah, you know, there are so many quotes on health and wealth, you know, and rightly so, you know, just like was said in the invitation you received. Some quotes say health is the first wealth. Without health, you cannot enjoy wealth. Health is wealth. So many quotes about that. And because that is so true, because no matter how healthy you are, how wealthy you are, if you're not in good health, it will be difficult to really enjoy that wealth. Do we agree? Do we agree? If you agree, please type I agree. I agree that health is wealth. Yeah. Can I know whether you're following me? Please, if you agree that without health, yes, I agree. Yes, we all agree. I mean, have you ever been ill? I have, you know, a few times I've been quite ill, and the last thing on your mind are the things you normally think about, the things that you normally give attention to when you're well. But when you're ill, you don't think about those things. All you want is to get well, you know. And so all those quotes are true. You know, I'm a medical doctor, qualified at the tender age of 21, a few decades ago, and practicing in paid clinical employment. It was very, very fulfilling. I mean, medicine is a fulfilling profession. You know, why is it fulfilling? You're involved, you're part of a team that's involved in rescuing people from the throes of death, you know, with the help of God, you know. But you are there, you see a patient coming in, looking very ill, maybe unconscious, and after a few days or a few weeks, you know, this same patient, this same individual is leaving the hospital, is carrying their bags, is smiling and all that. It is very, very fulfilling. And when I think of this, when I think of the fulfillment in medical practice, one of the experiences that comes to mind for me is a case of, we had two children, two babies actually. They were 1 year old, but what was wrong with them? They were malnourished. They were 1 year old and their weight was, I think one was 5 kilograms and the other was maybe 6 or 7 kilos. They were grossly malnourished. And they were actually candidates for being quickly referred to the children's hospital in the town where I worked, in Lagos. But we looked at it and we just thought, with the bureaucracy they would meet there and everything, we didn't know whether these children would make it. So we took up the challenge. I was leading a team of doctors, nurses, and all that. And we took up the challenge, and a few weeks after, we took care of them, we nursed them with the help of God. And a few weeks later, those children went home. I mean, my only regret in that experience was that we do not have before and after. Amazing. Everyone around was scared for them and all that. But that time, it was quite a while ago. That time, not if you even had a phone, a landline phone in your house, you were Baba, not to talk of having phones where you could quickly take pictures. But that, like I said, that was fulfilling. And when earlier on in my practice, in my medical life, the very well-known, very well-regarded disciplines, specialties were medicine, you're a physician; surgery, you're a surgeon, and different branches of that, obstetrics and gynecology and pediatrics. There was another specialty called preventive health or public health, which was not as, it wasn't as prestigious as the others. Of course, that is different now. And even for me, I didn't really like the preventive part of it, community health. It just seemed not very serious to us those times, but obviously that's not the case. But for me, it took a lot of training and exposure to see that, wow, those people, people that you rescued from death because you treated them, curative medicine, by doing certain things, but certain habits over time could have improved, removed, or prevented them getting to that place where you had to rescue them. And so the importance of preventive health over curative health. Now, curative health is amazing also, but if you know that you can prevent certain things, certain conditions by doing certain things over time, I began to admire, to like, to value that part of medicine. So now I want to ask us, as we're here, I know we're probably all, let's be a bit interactive. If you're here and you are under 30, please, can you type 111 if you are under 30? I'd like everybody to participate, please, because we're going through this. If you are under 30 years, please type 111. If you are under 40 years, if you are 30 to 39 years, please type 222. Is it that we don't have younger people here? If you are 40 to 49, please type 333. Okay, we have a 222, yeah. If you're 50 to 59, type 444. If you are 60 to 69, type 555. Yeah, we have some 222s, we have some 333. Yes, we have some. If you're 60 to 69, type 555. And if you're 70 and above, type 666. Yeah, we have a lot of 333s and 444s. We have a lot of 40s and 30s. We have 666. Oh, you're so welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're all welcome. Yeah. So, you see, when you are young, you feel invincible, not only in your mind. I mean, I look at the things I did when I was in my 20s, and I'm like, gosh, did I really do that? So much could have happened, you know. But even with your health, when you're younger, you feel you get sick, you get better. You have an injury, it heals immediately. I remember about 10 years ago, about 9 years ago, I had burns. I had burns. I burnt my hand and leg, and it was quite serious. But it took so long to heal. I was so surprised because normally anything happens to me, it's gone. Are you diabetic? No, I was not diabetic. But you know, it was the age. It was age. You know, also when I was younger, as a young doctor, I worked in an organization where we were responsible for the care of the employees and their families. So we were their first port of call. And people then who were maybe in their 40s, 50s would come and lay some complaints. And honestly, I couldn't relate to a lot of those complaints. Like, doctor, my body get as it be. I'm like, pardon? I don't understand how I'm feeling. I can't get myself. You know, all those things. And inside me, I'll be like, what on earth is this? But I mean, obviously, we would do the needful and do the diagnosis and treat them. But you know, the thing is, when I crossed 35 years, those complaints started appearing. And I now knew what they went through. So as we get older, so many things happen. So I'm going to share my screen now. Just a minute. Yeah. So, yes, you know, there are so many, there's so many theories of aging, you know, different reasons. There's some theories that say biological age, aging follows a timetable. There's a biochemical theory. There's a genetic theory. There's so many theories on age, such that, you know, you don't know which is which. But you see, no matter which theory is correct, we all age. Am I right? We all age. But you know, certain lifestyle factors, they may defer or delay our demise to a certain degree, or at least we may have will give us a better quality to the quantity of our lives. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Prevention. What are the things that we can do to give us a better quality of life, no matter how long we live? You know, the title of today is Health Meets Wealth. And we're going on this journey to know how you can pursue your health and still meet wealth. It can translate to wealth. You know, those two, they don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can be healthy and be wealthy as well. So follow me on the journey. You know, there's a concept, there's a businessman and author called Stephen Covey. he talked about some concepts of our circle of control, circle of influence, circle of concern. And our circle of control are the things we can control. Our circle of influence are the things we're concerned about, but we can do something about. Now, as we are now, we cannot do anything about our age. We can't do anything about our race. We can't do anything about our inherited conditions. But there are things we can do something about, and we just touch on them as we move along. So, our nutrition, we can eat right. And the closer to nature our foods, the better for us. Natural foods, fresh foods, foods more in their natural state. That is, foods that are not processed foods. We should limit those ones and take more natural foods. And then foods in their different food groups. Today is not really a class, or it's not a class on nutrition, but we're just going to talk. So you have the particular types of fats that you should eat, the quantities of carbohydrates, limit carbohydrates, limit bad fats, and take foods that are going to provide vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. And then we have portion control, because sometimes we can eat the right foods, but if the portions are not right, we will tend to put on weight, and also those things that weight would contribute to our being more susceptible to certain health conditions. Also, we talk about activity. A lot of us maybe at our style, the way we live, what we do, the work we do does not involve that much activity. We sit at the office, so we need to have it in mind that we should be active, get exercise, minimum of 30 minutes, 5 days of the week, simple as walking. Those are the things we can control. And sometimes they're not easy to do, but if we have it in mind, we know that we can control them. So let us do them. Then our mental health, we need to pay attention to our mental health. Even if you're not diagnosed with depression, but there's anything, there are different ways in which you can pay attention to your mental health. Seek therapy, pray, read a book, sleep well, and then regular health checks. You see, there are many age-appropriate health checks. Right now, I'm in the UK, and every now and then one gets a letter, okay, come and do this, come and do that. In some parts of the world, we don't get those. So the onus is on us to make those things happen, because we can detect any issues, any anomalies, we can detect them early and address them. You see, if we do all these things, we will be in a better position to face anything coming and stay healthy longer. So let's move on. Now, even though we do all these things, there's the inevitable. Sometimes we do all these and life happens. We pray that something that we don't want does not happen, but it happens. And then there's aging. We talked about that there are different aging theories, whatever those theories are. Whatever is right, whatever, we age. There's wear and tear. Even on our cars, there's wear and tear, not to talk of our bodies. Then we have exposure. We have the free radical theory. I first came across this theory when I was doing one of my postgraduate courses, I think 1997, 98. And that's when I really, maybe I'd learned it before, but it was very fascinating to me. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about free radicals later. And then, even when we take all these precautions, we have exposures that are not really within our express control. Our phones, telecoms masts all over the place. We have pesticides, we have fast foods, we have sedentary life, which we talked about, air pollution, medications. You know, while I was doing some research, I saw that medications as simple as even paracetamol can generate increased free radicals, which we're going to talk about a bit later. Chemicals in skin preparations. You know, some of us, we permed our hair, and the chemicals, all those things, skin lightening creams, water pollutants, so many. So these are inevitable things that can happen to us along the way. Now, what's the current situation? You know, chronic diseases, you know, the medical system, there are a lot of advances in medicine. There are a lot of advances in medicine, and we praise God for that. It's amazing the things that 20, 30 years ago could not be achieved and are achieved now, and all that. However, despite that, chronic diseases are on the rise. Diabetes is on the rise, hypertension is on the rise. So many chronic health conditions are on the rise despite despite the advances in medicine. But generally, in fairness to the world, we seem to have realized the need to go back to nature. We find that even in areas like women's beauty, like maybe 20, 30 years ago, a woman who has natural hair will be looked at as, she's not fashion, she's not with it, she's not fashionable. But now everybody's going back natural, even with makeup. A bride today who has herself made up, she would probably have a natural look. So even with the dressing, everybody is going back natural. People are going back to natural foods as opposed to processed foods. And then natural health remedies. There was a study showing that in Africa, over 86% of city dwellers, they rely on natural remedies. There was another study that showed that even in developed countries where the health system is up to scratch, we have a lot of people, over 70% of people still use natural remedies. And even I still saw another study. I looked through a journal yesterday, and I saw another study that showed that over 80% of people, they said not less than 80% of people around the world rely on herbal supplements for some part of their primary care. And if you're here and you have never, ever used anything herbal, meaning you've never used turmeric, you've never used bitter leaf, please type there, I have never used anything herbal. Please type it there. So because over 80% of the world does use some form of herbal. And this is now bringing me to the second part of this talk. We said health meets wealth. We're still talking a bit about health, but we're moving gradually. So enter Marvel Natural Products PLC. Yes, back to nature. Now, we've just finished talking about the fact that most people are going back to nature, going back to natural health remedies. And so we have this company, Marvel Natural Products PLC, that is an indigenous company, a Nigerian company with global reach. Registered as a PLC because in the next 4 to 5 years, this company is going to be on the stock exchange, the Nigerian stock exchange. Now, this company, due to previous associations, saw that there was need in the herbal space. There was value in the herbal space. And what is the need in the herbal space? Like we said earlier, 80% of people rely on herbal supplements, natural products for part of their primary care. A lot of these herbal products are used without much regulation. There is no, maybe in many of them, they don't know, the people taking them don't know the contents. They don't know the actual quantities to take. They don't know whether they are laden with alcohol and eventually can affect people's organs, their liver, and all that. They don't know. They're not researched. It's anecdotal evidence. Yeah, so there are some things that, we know do certain things from years back. But these preparations that many people use, even the way in which they're made, people drinking them or taking them don't really know. And so this company saw that need and came up with a range of products. And if you are following me, please, can you type, "We are following you"? Now, it's not only Marvel Natural Products, PLC. There are other strategic partnerships involved in what we're going to talk about. There's A2W, thank you very much, thank you. A2W, which is Avenues to Wealth, which is a technology, a network marketing technology development company that takes care of the back end of the business activities. We have Vend to Earn, which is a bill payment platform, where you can vend your airtime, your data, your utilities, and you can vend and you earn from them. And then we have Green Mondays, which is the public face of this conglomerate. And it is the Green Mondays is the distribution arm of the conglomerate, taking healthy, natural products from Nigeria to the rest of Nigeria and to the whole world. Now, we have the products of Marvel Natural Products PLC, the Reader range. This is a range of natural products that were that were launched just under 2 years ago, with the flagship product, Reader Herbal Bitters. And now we have 12 other products on the back of Reader Herbal Bitters. We have Reader Restore for women. We have Reader Fire for men. Reader Restore for women takes care of hormonal imbalance in women, menstrual irregularities, postmenopausal syndrome. It helps that. Reader Fire for men ignites fire in the bedroom of the men who use it, and is also for any reproductive issue for a man, prostate health. So that's Reader Fire. We have Reader Cleanser. That is Reader Cleanser is for stubborn infections, and it's also a detoxifier. Then we have Reader Fat Burner, which has helped many people lose weight the natural way. Those are the personal health. And then we have the Reader Balm. We call it Akere Koro. Then we have the personal hygiene products, disinfectant, hand sanitizer. The disinfectant not only disinfects, that you can use it on your bath water and all that when you use it to clean your house, to mop your house on a regular basis, cockroaches, mosquitoes, flies, all take cover. Then you have the hand sanitizer, the body wash, the body butter, the hand wash, and then the Lily's hair care product, the Lily's hair cream. And so we have these amazing products that help. You know, we talked about us being proactive in our circle of control to be able to do one thing or the other to help our health. You know, we talked about the exercise, we talked about we talked about the nutrition, but we also know that there are certain things that happen to our bodies that reader can take care of. Now, I'm going to talk a bit more later, but before I talk in detail about that, I would like to call anyone. I'd like to call us one or two people to share about what I think we may need to mute somebody there. Let me see. Can I mute? Okay. So I'd like to call on anybody who would like to share. Okay, Dr. Patricia, please, you can unmute. I think you can unmute. Please share. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Well done, Ma.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Ogumola Patricia Olushayo. I'm a nurse by profession, and I'm also an health educator. I had my PhD in health and safety education. And I want to share testimony about the Reader range of products, because the products, we have an amazing product in our hands, and the product is doing a lot of work. The testimony I want to share happened, I think that will be early this year. I worked in a maternity section in a local government. And that morning, I was in the laboratory assisting with tests that were being carried out on the new bookings that we are having in the facility. And this lady just walked over to me and she asked me that can I remember her face? And it was like, I'm not sure I can remember your face. So how are you? How are you feeling? And the likes. And she now said, I was in your, because I have a shop where people used to come over to come and pick these amazing products. She now said she was in the shop like 6 months ago, and she came to pick the Reader bitters and some other products because she wants to get pregnant. And she now told me that she came maybe around November. She used the product December, and by January, she just found out that she's pregnant. And it was that same pregnancy that she brought to my clinic to come and register for antenatal.
Wow.
So I just look at her and it was like, wow, so you are pregnant. I've been hearing testimonies of people using the product, getting pregnant, having the babies, but this one was like Koro one, seeing it by myself. And it was like, that morning I was so happy. So we talked, and she was just, praying, saying, thank you for this product. This is all the product I've done and the likes. So about a month after we met, I was in the facility again when she came to immunize to take the first BCG for the baby. Wow. She had given birth. So I now carried the baby. I said, this is our Reader baby. Oh. So that is how amazing the product is. And a lot of people have used it and they've been able to conceive and have what they are looking up to God for. So we call it miracle in the bottle, because sometimes people cannot really even say that this is how this thing works. Another testimony I have is about on fibroid. I have some people that use Restore, the Reader bitters on fibroids, and maybe after using it for normally we place them on 90 days plan. And this woman, she just called me and said, she could not understand what is happening. No, I said, what happened? She said overnight, she just felt as if something want to come out. And that was how she entered the toilet. The first one just dropped, boom. And it's like the second one is coming. She decided to use something to catch it so that she'll be able to look at what is coming out and come and see clotted blood. They were coming out. And she was like, this is the first time she used this product for fibroid. And look at what happened. That was a month after she started using the product. You see, it was after the second month, the third month she called me and she said she tested positive and she's pregnant.
Wow.
So that is how amazing the products are and how effective the products are. So I don't want us to doubt the efficacy of the products. If anybody has, can we use it? I said, give it a trial. And so many times they come back with testimonies. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patricia. Okay, Dr. Uche, you are wow, it's the doctor's day. Dr. Uche, please, you can unmute and
Yes. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone, depending on where you are at. My name is Uche Obasi. I'm a medical doctor on the beautiful island of St. Kitts and Nevis,
wow.
and a distributor in the Green Mondays. It has been amazing. I can't quantify with words what Rita had done through me, at least to people around me, and even in my family. I would give, because of time, just fast two testimonies. The first one is I have a patient. She is like in her 30s, and she got married like 7 years ago. She was menstruating before she got married, and like few months after getting married, the menstrual flow stopped. She thought she was pregnant. She checked, she went to the hospital, and it was negative. So she was like, okay, maybe stress, sometimes stress actually has a negative impact on the female cycle. So she waited the first month, nothing, the second month, nothing, the third month, nothing. It became a year, it became 2 years, it became 3, 4, 5 years, still no menstrual flow. And I used to advertise and talk about Reader on my high school page, and that's the secondary school page. So one of my classmates then introduced her to me and told her, I think their co-workers, and told her to reach me and talk to me. So she did, and I'm like, okay, let's have your results. I saw her results. She explained. She went on scan and all that. So one, she had fibroid, but the most striking one was she had she was lactating. You can imagine someone that is not seeing her menstrual flow. She's not pregnant. She's not nursing a baby, but she's lactating. That's mean milk coming out from her breast. So I'm like, okay, that means you have higher prolactin. So we have to place you on Restore and Beaters for 90 days. She started not even up to 2 weeks. She was like, okay, the breast milk that was coming out from her breast was dry, it was reducing. And by the first month, it has stopped completely. By that same first month, her menstrual flow came back. She was so excited, and I'm so happy for her, and I'm believing God for them that I'll also hear the good news of them expecting twins. Yes, that is my belief for them. So Breather had helped that family and many other families. That is one. The second testimony is here. There is always a season of flu where you see most people coughing, sneezing, having runny nose and all that. And with my kids being in school before that period, you start bombarding them with vitamin C. But over the years, even with vitamin C, they still catch the flu. And I'm like, what is this? You'll be at work and you'll be called up to come pick up your child. He or she is having a runny nose and all that. So when I got introduced to Reader, I'm like, okay, good. I got some over here and I placed my kids too on Reader. Though the youngest is 3 and he's not yet supposed to start taking Reader, but I had to place him on it. I just reduced the dosage and how frequent he takes it. And I am happy to say that though this is still the flu season, but not even a sneeze from them. They've been going to school, enjoying their school, nobody having to call me to come pick them up, that they have a runny nose or all that. Everybody around them might be sneezing and coughing, but nothing. So I'm so happy. Personally, aside those I've helped with Reader, it has also done tremendous things in the life of my kids when it comes to flu. So I would stop here for others to also share their testimonies, because if I'm to continue, that means we'll be here till tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uche. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Patricia. If we have any other testimonials, please just drop them in the chat box. That's all we have time for. But, you can see at least just 2 people have shared. And, you may wonder, why is Reader doing all these things? Now, Reader has, yes, Reader Nababa. Reader has certain properties. It is not magic. It is not magic. It is that Reader has certain properties. Reader has antioxidant properties. Reader has antibacterial properties. Reader has antifungal, antiviral, antihypertensive, antidiabetic, analgesic, anti-inflammatory, and so much more. It has many properties. A research into the ingredients shows that these ingredients have been used in natural medicine for thousands of years. So this is why Reader does it. Also builds your immunity. Now, let's look a bit at why it does that also. We have, like we talked briefly earlier, there's a phenomenon called oxidative stress, and that is caused by the imbalance of free radicals. Free radicals are unpaired molecules that result from certain chemical processes in the body. And because they're trying to find stability, they go into cells and destroy cells. But antioxidants balance them out. But when there's excess free radicals in the body, we have this resultant effect called oxidative stress, and you need an external source of antioxidants to counter it. And these are the causes, as we can see on the screen, the things that cause oxidative stress, that cause excess free radicals. And if there's anyone who in here is not exposed to any of these conditions, please type, I am exposed to none. Probably you are calling in from Mars or from the moon or something like that. But you see, depending on what part of our body, which system, which tissue, which organs the oxidative stress is playing out in, we have different health conditions. We have, if it's in the heart, and I'll just mention one by one, congestive heart disease, hypertension. If it's in the skin aging, sunburn, psoriasis, the kidney, chronic kidney disease, the joints, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, the lungs, asthma, COPD, the brain, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, the immune system, you have chronic inflammation. When it's multi-organs, you have diabetes, you have aging. So you have different chronic health conditions. Research has shown that at the root of most chronic health conditions is oxidative stress. And so why are we saying all this? We've talked about the health. We've talked about the things we can do to help our health, the exercise, the diet, and all that. But there's one other thing you can do. You can give yourself and your loved ones a gift of health, of the Reader range. Give yourself and your loved ones a gift of health. Yes, you will do the nutrition, we'll do the exercise and all that. It's an extra layer of protection. And it's not just protection, prevention, intervention, curative, all these properties, all these parts, systems, I mean, all these things I have been experienced with Reader. If we continue with testimonies, we probably would not live here. So I'm calling on you, if you're a guest here that has never used Reader, I want to ask you, I want to encourage you to give yourself a gift of health. Anybody here, do you know anybody who is old, who is elderly? The elderly start getting plagued with different things, pains here and there, weakness. Do you know anybody who is diabetic? Do you know anybody who is hypertensive? Do you know any couple that are trying to conceive? Do you know anybody who's asthmatic and is having frequent attacks? I mean, do you know anybody who is a human being and is exposed to oxidative stress? You would do well to give that person a gift of health. And what is this gift of health? Reader range. Now we have different solution packs. You see, it's great for you to say, oh, I want to try it. As doctors, as medical personnel, when we want to help people with health conditions, chronic conditions, you don't place them on medications for 2 weeks or 1 week. You ask them to take them for a while. And the manufacturer of Reader recommends that you take a 90 days, take the Reader range that you need for 90 days. And this solution pack here will give you the products, not only give you the products that you need depending on the pack you buy for 90 days, it will also give you some other benefits. So now once you buy that pack, anytime you're coming to buy more, you're buying as a member. You will buy at a discounted rate, and there's so many more benefits. Also, there's another pack called the General Wellbeing Pack, which is a solution pack with added value. You know, we talked about doing health checks. This company has partnered with another outfit called Doctor Connect, whereby if you participate, if you buy yourself this pack, you would not only get products that you use for 90 days, and then when you come back, you buy them cheaper. You also get access to an app where you will download, and you will also have access to have a health check, a comprehensive health check, which you only need to do once a year. You will go to the lab, to the company's lab, and book your test, and you have all your parameters, your eyes, your ears, your liver, your kidney, you'll know your biological age, and then you also have access to doctors 24/7 for 1 year. That is this pack. I want to encourage you, if you're here and you want to give yourself or your loved one a gift of health, do it now. These are promo prices, and in the next couple of weeks, the prices are likely to revert. You can see this, the usual price is 217,000 naira. Today's price is 90,000 naira. Get back to the person who invited you quickly so that you don't miss this. Now, when I was working in paid employment, while we're seeing patients, the nurse will just come and tell us, oh, somebody is waiting to see you. They're usually drug reps, and they come to encourage us to use their medications, the medications from their companies. Maybe you are using the clinic, you're using Emzor paracetamol. They want you to use their own Bonga paracetamol, or maybe so they come and they market these drugs to you, and then they invite us to drug sessions where they'll give us lunch and all that. Of course, we're happy, we'll go. But the bottom line is they just want us to buy and use those medications, rather their own brand. Now, is that what I'm talking about? Is no. This is not a drug sales rep. This is inviting you to be part of a win-win situation where your health is going to be taken care of. You're going to have support for your health. You're going to have prevention for your health in the reader range. But you're not just buying it, you're buying it in a win-win situation. We have an opportunity to also make wealth. Now, apart from the packs, where the solution packs, the two that I shared with you, if you just, okay, I just want to get in and do this business and be able to recommend and, you know, introduce these products to people, there are other registration options. You have the VIP, which is 750,000 naira, the platinum, 400,000 naira, the gold, 140,000, silver, then bronze. You know, I encourage you to get back to the person who invited you and find out how you can come on board with any of these. When you pay that money, you don't, it's not just paying, you get products worth more than what you have paid for. And those levels, those packages, they rank, your rank in the business, your entry rank depends on which package you buy, and it determines how deep you earn from the people you bring in. Now, what do you stand to benefit apart from these products, apart from the Doctor Connect, apart from getting access to insurance, apart from getting access to talking to doctors? You stand to benefit if you buy any of these packs. You get a personalized web portal, distribution, or you become a distributor of this wellness and hygiene range. You have agency opportunities, real estate. In fact, there is just so much. Personal development opportunities, enjoyment opportunities. If there was time, I would have asked somebody else to also share about these personal development and other opportunities, but it's just a lot that you benefit. And what happens when you buy any of these packs and you introduce them to others? You have a family friend who's suffering from one thing or the other, and you introduce them to also buy a pack. The company rewards you in about 13 different ways. And these are, I cannot go into the explanation of all of them right now, but the best way to learn it and understand it is to earn it. Those who are here who have been earning them just by using these products that are amazing and recommending to others, you get to build wealth. And this is how, because the title of today is Health Meets Wealth, this is how the health meets wealth. But how does it look? What does it look like going forward? You know, imagine you buy one of these packs and you give your family and friends, 4 of them, the opportunity to do the same. And those 4 also give 4 of their family and friends to do the same. And you build down, even if you do your 4 once in 3 months, and you build down to your 12th generation, it generates for you income that over time, cumulatively, is well over 11 billion. If you look at this, this slide, the yellow part, if you look at the last one, you see 11 billion. Actually, that is what you earn by the time you build and fill your 12th generation. But the income is cumulative. All the figures you see above there are what you would earn if you participate, you buy a pack and you share it, share the blessing, I call it, with other people. Now, also, apart from that, you have different, you know, because people, once they finish their pack, they will buy more. And once they buy more, you also get to earn. And by the time you've built your 12th generation and the people who you brought in, even just 1% of them are buying regularly, you can earn up to or more than 30 million naira monthly. Then we have rank leadership gifts. I won't go into that. I mean, there's so much that we cannot talk about now, but those figures that I told you about are just not even everything. There's so many gifts, because there are other ranks. By the time any products you buy, you get points, and those points take you higher and higher in the hierarchy of the company, in the business. And at every milestone, the company rewards you from customized t-shirts to trips abroad, to properties in Nigeria, to properties in the US, to ₦1 million monthly for 30 years or for life, so much more. Now, we said health meets wealth. What is wealth? The definition of wealth is not in naira and kobo or dollars or pounds. The definition of wealth is the number of days you can survive without physically working, or anybody in your household physically working, and you will still maintain your standard of living. We're coming to the end now. Think about this for a moment. As you are here, I know you earn income in one way. Maybe you have a job, you open a shop, you have a business, you run. How long can you maintain your current standard of living if you stopped doing that work? If you closed your shop and you came over here to meet me and we just hung out for 6 months, how long would you be able to maintain your standard of living? You close your shop or you stop going to work. That is how wealthy you are, not what you have in your bank account. So let's think about that. Now, in conclusion, life happens. We age, different things can happen. And we have some things that happen to us that we cannot control. But we have a circle of control and a circle of influence. A circle of control are the things that we can control. The circle of influence are the things that we're concerned about, that we can do something about. We can proactively pursue health for ourselves and our loved ones with different measures, as we listed above, including a pack of the Reader range. Buying a gift of health from the Reader range enters you into a wealth creating system, so that for you, health will meet wealth. We invite you today. We thank you so much for coming, for being here with us. We invite you to partner with us to pursue health and to meet wealth while doing so. Not just you, but everybody you know and love as well. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for being here. At this point, I shall take some questions before we wind down this session. Do we have any questions? Thank you. Do we have any questions? If you're a guest here, I welcome you. I hope you've gotten something of value here today. I would like you to please get back to the person who invited you and ask them, how can I get a gift of health for myself and for my loved ones? Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you. So, well, our time is fast spent. If we do not have any questions, we will gradually wind down this session. I shall play some music and we shall wind down. Thank you. welcome.